Well, fellas, what started out as a little bit of routine maintenance on the pickup has turned into everybody's favorite. While we're in there, we might as well. So on the truck, a little while ago, driver's side, I noticed a little bit of coolant leaking down on the shop floor. Wasn't really sure what was going on. Found that it looks like this coolant is coming from the connection at the top of the radiator where the upper coolant hose meets. I haven't taken it apart yet, but what I'm pretty sure it is that internal O-ring finally failed. A little bit of coolant, but still need to get this addressed. What I went ahead and did is I got a upper coolant hose replacement kit from Spelab. However, we also are going to be doing an upgraded thermostat on the truck. So on these trucks, your OEM thermostat is going to open somewhere between 194 and 201 degrees Fahrenheit. That is pretty hot for, having to wait for the coolant to start circulating. So this new one that I got, a company called MotoRad, theirs opens between 160 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So a lot cooler temp is when it's going to open and start flowing, keep everything a lot cooler with the truck. Now, if you have a 2017 and up, Ford engineered these to where your coolant is also doing a little bit of double work. It's helping to keep the transmission cooler as well. So when we get these temps for the coolant lower, we're going to get triple benefits. We're going to keep, obviously, the engine coolant temp lower. We're going to keep the engine oil temperature lower because, of course, the engine's going to be running a little bit cooler. And then third benefit, transmission's running cooler. Now, for those of y'all that tow a lot of trailers, boats, RVs, livestock trailers, this is gonna be a really big benefit because I'm sure you have seen, especially if you're on the highway, going longer distances, higher speeds, your temperatures can get up there, especially in any sort of elevation or roads with a steeper grade. I've dealt with this pulling not only livestock trailers, but also RVs. So with this, we're going to be able to keep temperatures a lot lower, keep the engine happier. Let's go take a look at everything that's in the kit and what we're going to be installing. All right, so this is everything that you're going to need for this install. Now, coming from Spelab, you've got the upper coolant hose kit. That's going to include this aluminum upper hose pipe. You've got a couple silicone couplers. You've got these billet adapters. This is the one that's going to go right above the housing where your thermostat is, and then this piece is the one that connects to the upper part of the radiator. Now you've got 4 band clamps, and as far as tools that you're gonna need, you may not need the pliers. Some of you guys with the older trucks, that little petcock valve that's at the bottom of the radiator, you might need this to get it turned. You're gonna need a pick. This is gonna help you get the little locking clips off of the OEM couplers. You're going to need an 8mm, and the 8mm is going to be for the bolts that hold down the stock housing adapter, and then the 10 is going to be for these V-band clamps. Now let's talk about this thermostat. Now this is from MotoRad. This is our Spec R. I'm going to have links for everything like I always do down in the description. So I'll have a link for this upper coolant hose kit as well as for this thermostat. It's just replacing the OEM piece. With this, again, biggest difference is going to be this is going to open between 160 and 170 degrees, whereas the OEM is going to open between 194 and 201 Fahrenheit. So otherwise, that's it. We can just go ahead, get started. We're going to go drain a couple gallons of coolant out of the coolant system because everything that we're working on is up at the top. So we just need to make sure that, take a couple gallons out, make sure we're not going to make a mess, and then be able to get this install done. So let's go ahead and get over to the front of the truck. So we're at the front of the truck. So go ahead and take the bucket, put it right up underneath this valve. This is what's called the petcock drain valve. It is on the driver's side of the radiator. And from here, we're just going to turn this. Once you get the valve opened, go ahead and just crack the cap of the reservoir. It's going to help it to flow out better. And it should go without saying, but use a really clean bucket if you plan on reusing this coolant. So that should be about enough. We're just going to go here, turn that, we're good to go. First step, this is the little clip that we need to get. So it's going to take a metal pick, pull up on that. Pull that right off. Now with this, we are gonna reuse this clip onto the new billet adapter from Spelab. So when we get this off, we'll go ahead and take that from here and then transfer it over. All right, so next step. This is gonna be a little difficult to film because it is so dang dark in here. But you're gonna take your 8mm, and we've got three bolts that we need to break loose. Call this like the 8 o'clock position. Got another one at the 12 o'clock position. And then you have one more. They're all really easy to see. They're all really easy to get to. All right, guys, this one's difficult for me to film. I'm doing my best. But you've got one more of those little locking clips. It's gonna be on the base of this, now that we got everything else loose. So you're just gonna go ahead and take that same pick, get it on there. All right, so I got my pick on there, just pull that back, and that's what's gonna allow us to go ahead and, damn it. Well, we didn't drain enough, so let that be a lesson. But either way, clean that up, get this swapped out. All right, so this is the OEM piece. We'll worry about that in a minute. Again, I did not drain enough coolant out, so let that be a lesson. Just take a rag and try to soak up, I don't know, the 3 or 4 ounces that this is gonna be. It's not the end of the world, but it is gonna make it a little bit more of a mess getting the stock thermostat out of there. So once I get this cleaned up, I'll pull this housing out and then I'll show you the stock thermostat and how we're gonna put the new one in. So I got all the coolant cleaned up and took the bolts out. So this is going to be the piece that we're replacing. Which is gonna come right off. You'll see that that's then gonna expose the stock thermostat. So get you guys a better view of this. Let me just get a light. So now I got all this cleaned up and this is gonna be your stock thermostat. One thing to note, there's this little, call it a vent or whatever. This goes towards the intake manifold. It's really important to remember. So whenever you put the new one on there, but we're just gonna go ahead and take this straight up, get that out of there, and we're gonna go grab the new one. All right, guys, so here's the stock one. Here's the MotoRad. You can see essentially the same thing. Again, the only difference is gonna be the temperature at which they open. So get this out. We're gonna go ahead and place this one in. So now you get that cleaned up a little bit. You're just gonna take the new thermostat, drop it right down in there. Again, really important, make sure that this little valve right there is facing the intake manifold. So from there, we're gonna take this billet piece from Spelab, drop that right on top. Then we're gonna get our hardware. Second one. And then the shortest one goes over on the right side, just in case you forgot. And from there, we're just gonna tighten these down. All right, so tightening these down, you do not have to go crazy. Just get them snug. And then one more lap around. All right, good to go. So the next step is gonna be to take this fitting that's gonna fit over the inlet to the top part of the radiator. You're gonna see 2 little recesses. You want the small one on top and then the bigger one down on the bottom at that 6 o'clock position. So we're just gonna take this, make sure it presses all the way over. Then we're gonna take that clip that we took from the OEM piece, put that down, test it. All right, so that's snug on there, so we're set. All right, guys, so the next step is we're gonna take the pipe and the silicone couplers, and we're gonna test fit it because we need to be able to orient the couplers before we go in there with the clamps. So what I'm gonna do is press that down, get that on. This is gonna be it for us. If you have trouble getting the silicone couplers on, You can spray a little glass cleaner in there. It's not going to hurt anything. All right, this should do it for us. All right, looks like that's going to be it. You can see right here, we've got clean, tight fit around both sides of the pipe and the fitting with the silicone coupler. And then same for the 90-degree that's coming off the thermostat housing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these off. We're going to go ahead, put the clamps on, get these tightened down, and just double check everything before we put coolant back in and fire it back up. So we're going to start with the housing, the coupler that goes there. Man, if you guys do not have one of these topside creepers, this has changed everything for me. If you've watched my videos, you know that I've complained about it in the past. I got one from this company, Traxion. I thought it was Traction, but I guess they pronounced it different. And man, this thing has been an absolute game changer for working in the engine bay, especially with this thing sitting higher with the level in the 37s. I got a ranch hand bumper, so it's never been really convenient. Now all of a sudden it is. So we're just gonna press this all the way down, make sure the coupler is flush down at the bottom, all the way around. Perfect. Okay. So now we just need our 10 mil. We're gonna get these tightened down, and then we'll move over to this side. All right, so just long extension, 10 mil. Get this clamp tightened down. Not the easiest access, but easy enough. All right, so now we get the same thing for this one. Probably just put these on first next time if you guys are doing it. Got one there, one here. Get the silicone coupler. Okay, get this coupler pressed over and on. I think we're gonna run these this way. Now, just remember, this is an aluminum pipe, so don't go crazy. It's also just coolant, so doesn't have to be ridiculous. Just make sure that these clamps are tight, not going to have any sort of leaks. All right, guys. All right, so now you're just going to put your coolant back in. And I realized that I didn't even take 2 gallons out. That would explain why we had that little bit of a mess with the extra coolant whenever I was removing the hose from the thermostat housing. So take a little bit more than you think. Again, I think 3 gallons is probably the move, but get this coolant back in here and put the cap back on, fire this thing up. All right, y'all, so I didn't do a before and after video of like temperatures because I really didn't think that it would be possible to have a true apples to apples comparison. Driving the same road, putting the same trailer on. I have seen at least one other person do that, but between ambient temperatures outside, there's too many variables. I will tell you this, I've been driving for 30 miles now, just finished the install. And my normal temperatures, transmission would generally be like 195, 196, and oil temperature was pretty much right there. And you can see right now, temperature for transmission, 174 degrees. And then we go down to engine oil, that one's at 169. I don't have my EasyLink plugged in, so I can't show the actual digital gauges that are going to show the true coolant temp, but you can see it on the dummy gauge that it's over there, basically left of center. So there's no exaggeration here. This new thermostat especially really does a heck of a job of getting the coolant circulating earlier, getting the temperature down, and keeping it down. So to have these high 160s, low 170s, really impressed. So even if you aren't going to change out that upper coolant hose, I really think that doing at least the thermostat, even on a bone stock vehicle, especially if you're towing, is very worth it. But because you saw the install, you may as well go ahead and do that coolant pipe anyway, because the stock one has to come off to change this. So my recommendation, do what I did, do both of them at the same time. But these results, I'm really, really impressed. All right, fellas, install's finished. That was so simple. 25-ish minutes start to finish. Got to knock out a couple things, like I said. First off, that little leak that was caused at the connection from the upper radiator hose, it's an OEM piece, to that inlet to the radiator. Don't have to worry about that anymore. We upgraded the entire rubber hose to this new aluminum piece with those billet adapters that look phenomenal. And on top of that, now I've got the upgraded thermostat. So the entire truck is going to be running cooler on top of all the other things that I've already done. With as much as I tow, it's really important to me to make sure that the engine, transmission are happy. So with this new thermostat, really nothing to worry about. We're going to have cooler coolant temps. We're going to have cooler oil temps and transmission temps, all while also not having to have any sort of anxiety about coolant leaks. So down in the description, I'm going to have a link for the replacement coolant hose from Spelab, as well as this thermostat from MotoRad. So also check out this playlist. This is going to be all the videos that I have for my how-tos, anything from maintenance to basic upgrades, all the way to some of the things that you guys that have your emissions on the vehicle that you want to get rid of. I got some how-tos on that also, so help y'all out. Again, links for everything to help make it a lot easier to get your hands on those parts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, ask that you do. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out a ton, and all of the videos that I put up for this Powerstroke and anything else in the future, you're gonna be the first ones to see it. So again, appreciate y'all watching. As always, if you have any questions about this, leave me a comment and I'll see y'all in the next one.